Hey everyone, welcome back. It is a leg day, one of the most important parts of our body because our legs do so much for us every single day. So normal platform of 3 rounds of 5 exercises each, and our exercises are squat pulse, lateral lunge, glute bridge march, leg lift front with the left leg, and leg lift front with the right leg. So if you don't know what any of these are, no worries, just follow along. Let's go ahead and set our watches because it didn't count if our watch didn't count it. All right, I'm gonna set the timer. We're gonna get going here in about 10 seconds. All right, warm up, shake it out, get jazzed up. All right, in 3, 2, 1, and squat pulse. Forgot to turn my volume up. All right, this is where, again, focus on those knees. You want the knees pointing towards the pinky toe, not caving in towards the big toe. All right, feet are forward, arms are out or forward, just in a way to keep your balance. And you want to stay at the lower half of the exercise. Now, this does make those thighs burn pretty quickly. So if you need to, come all the way up and regular squat. All right, so this is just a quick, easy modification. But if you can, stay down here because this is going to really get those thighs working. After this is the lateral lunge. All right. Staying down at that lower half. I'm feeling the burn, but we're at to 3 last seconds. Great. Okay, turn to the side. We're gonna go lateral lunge, press up, lateral lunge, press back up. You want your leg to be slightly in front, like 1 foot length in front of the other foot. So right is not parallel, but a little bit forward. Press up. This again keeps that pressure off of the knee. And up, lateral lunge, let's go. Hey, so have you ever wondered why is having muscle important? It's gonna be kind of our talking topic of the day. Many reasons why keeping muscle and having muscle is important. But number 1 is the average person loses muscle every year over the age of 30, onto the floor and glute bridge march. All right. The reason that we lose muscle is because we're starting our careers. Most people are sitting at their desks, not being as active. We're not running around like we were in our 20s. We're not going to dance clubs, burning those calories. So starting at the age of 30, we lose, on average, 3 to 5% muscle mass per year for the rest of our lives. That is so terrible. So, by the way, if you can't do the glute bridge march, go ahead and just do regular glute bridge, just like this. Squeeze that tush at the top, but if you can, march. Okay, this helps burn, keep that tush lifted. Now we're switching, front leg lift. So hold on to a counter or a wall or something if you need to. You don't want to touch the ground, floor. You don't want to touch your leg, drop your leg all the way to the floor. You want it to be a slow, controlled movement the entire time. Okay, back to point, which was losing muscle. So we all lose about 3 to 5% per year after the age of 30, largely in part because we're not as active anymore. So that leads us to the question of, well, why is muscle so important to begin with? Number 1, if you have muscle, or the more muscle you have, the higher your resting metabolism is going to be. The higher your resting metabolism is going to be. 3, 2, 1, switch sides, same thing. Right leg, remember, keep it controlled. Don't drop your leg all the way to the floor. You want to get up to about waist high if you can. If you can't, you're going to go down here to where it's lower, wherever you can lift. But you want it to be a slow, controlled movement. You don't want to just drop your leg to the floor because you're not using your muscles, okay? So keep it going if you can. Arms on the hips or waist, okay? Or out to the side, whatever keeps your body balanced. So anyway, back to what I was saying, was metabolism. When you have more muscle, your resting metabolism is naturally higher, which means you're gonna burn more calories sitting on a chair, sleeping, sitting and eating. Those kind of things are going to be naturally, and rest. Whew. Already feeling the burn. Okay, drink your water, slow down your heart rate. This is my second one of these today. Again, remember, half of your body weight is what you should be drinking in hydration every single day. So drink, drink, drink. Okay, so we were still talking about metabolism. So the more muscle you have, this is why people gain weight, by the way, because we get older and we lose muscle mass. As we lose muscle, if we're not regularly exercising and keeping our muscle where it's at or building muscle, we're naturally just gonna gain weight. Why? Because we have less muscle mass. That's why it's so important, especially as we get older, to increase our muscle mass. Are we ready? Let's go to squat pulses again. Okay, what else? Muscle mass. Oh yeah, so the more muscle you have, the more calories you're naturally gonna burn just living, breathing, sleeping. So you really want to have as much muscle as possible. Now you don't have to be one of those guys with no neck, okay? You don't have to be so lean that you have 0% body fat. I probably have 20% body fat. You don't have to be super ripped, but you want to have more muscle so that you are stronger, which kind of leads to the next importance. Woo, am I burning? Okay, 3, 2, 1, and side lunges, lateral lunge. All right, so the next important part about having muscle is bone strength. The more muscle you have, the stronger your bones have to be, to support the muscle, because your muscles are connected to your bones, right? Sometimes it's through tendons and ligaments, but your muscles are attached to bone. The more muscle you have, the stronger those bones have to be. So, great thing to do is have good strong muscles so that you have good strong bones and you avoid osteoporosis. Osteoporosis is more common in women than it is in men, but men fall and break their hips too on the floor for a glute bridge march. So one of the best things you can do as a senior is to increase your muscle mass or maintain your muscle mass so that you can help to avoid those falls that could cause, again, broken hips. This is why we have an issue with shoulders, breaking down over time. This is why there are so many surgeries in seniors, because we lose our muscle mass and it becomes harder and harder to maintain and build muscle mass. So, therefore, of course, we're gonna have more brittle bones. Now we live in a day today where, all right, up on our feet, left leg lift front on the left side. We live in a day today where medical advancements and medical technology has improved so that we can reverse osteoporosis, but it's painful and it is time consuming. My mom has osteoporosis right now. The precursor, by the way, is osteopenia, but my mom has osteoporosis. She has to go through injections or shots or an oral medication trying to build layer upon layer of new bone tissue. And that gets harder and harder as we get older. So just some body weight exercise. You don't have to go build a ton of muscle at the gym, but these kind of exercises, just like what we're doing inside our camper, body weight only, with no straps or bands or weights, is still building muscle. And that is so important just from the standpoint of safety and protection of our bones. And then the next important part of having good high muscle mass is, catching my breath here, is that it reduces pressure on your joints. It's hard to talk and work out at the same time. You guys are lucky, you just have to listen and move. All right, we're down to the last 10 seconds. Get a break here in just a few more. I don't even think I can focus anymore on my topic. I have to just breathe, hold in those abs. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Whoo, am I feeling the burn? Boy, those legs are feeling it today. All right, rub them out. Kind of just dig in there a little bit. Whew. Okay, catch your breath, slow down that breathing, and drink your water. We got one more round, folks. We are almost done. Okay, so the last point on muscle mass is protection of your joints. The more muscle you have, especially in your legs, you're taking all that weight and all that pressure and all that stress off of your knees. Same thing with your arms. When you're lifting things and you have good strong muscles, you're taking a lot of the weight and the pressure off of the elbows and the shoulders. Okay, last time, muscle through this. I don't remember the exact statistics, but going upstairs puts a lot of extra stress on our knees. I think it's double body weight or more just by putting your knee or your foot on a step and making your knee lift the body up. That puts at least double the pressure on your knees. It might even be more than that. I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head right now. All right, again, if you cannot do the squat pulse, come all the way up and do a squat. Just make sure, speaking of knees, you're watching those knees. But if you can, especially these last 10 seconds, I want you to be doing the pulse. Staying at the lower half of the exercise, watching the knees, moving them out towards the pinky toe, not towards the big toe. All right, last time on the squats. Now we're doing our lunges. This is the last round of lunges. So hopefully this is giving you a little bit of insight. When it comes to building muscle, it's not, for me at least, it's not about being so lean and thin and looking sexy in a bikini. Those are added bonuses. Our husbands and wives will love that. But it's really just about overall health. You can maintain a higher resting metabolism because you have higher muscle mass. You can protect your bones. You can protect your joints. And those are all really great things. All right, down to the floor. We are doing glute bridge march or just regular glute bridge, whatever you can do. Hips up and walk it. Squeeze that bun. Squeeze those buns at the top. So the next question is, what else can we do to help our bodies build and maintain that muscle mass? Number one, you're doing it. Exercise, utilizing your muscles. You know, I hear people say all the time, especially after an injury, oh, I've lost all my muscle mass. That whole phrase of use it or lose it is absolutely key when it comes to muscle mass. If you don't use your muscles, you will absolutely lose them. The overall process of losing muscle mass is called sarcopenia. And it's a big fancy word. Last time, left leg, forward leg lift on the left. Easy for me to say. So, like I said, it's not about vanity. It's not about being in, well, it's kind of about being in shape. It's all about overall health, because you know my motto, tiny change. I don't even know my motto. Tiny efforts equals total health. So, one more thing that you can do, not only exercise, but eat good, healthy protein. Protein helps maintain your muscle mass, helps the muscles recover and grow back stronger. That's ultimately what we're doing every time we exercise. You're kind of tearing down the muscle a little bit and it grows back a little stronger. All right, last leg, last side. After this, we are done. Great job. You're on the home stretch. Remember, don't just fling your leg up and down using momentum. I want you to use a muscle here. You should be feeling. If you put your hand on your leg, you should be feeling those quads working. Every single lift you do. Hold in the abs, stand tall, hold onto a counter or a wall if you need to, whatever works for you. All right, home stretch. Okay, last 15 seconds. Take a quick breath if you need to, but if you can, muscle through it. I'm feeling the burn. Don't just fling it. I'd rather you stand down and take a breath and start back again. 3, 2, 1. Woo! All right, I am gonna go have a high protein snack, whether that be nuts or seeds or chicken or turkey or cheese is great, but it is very high in fat, so you have to watch that a little bit. But go have yourself a high protein snack, and before we quit, I want you to bend over and touch toes because we've been working nothing but the legs today. Stretch, 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 and come back up. Foot in the hand. We've done a lot of quad work today, so stretch it out. All right, press those hips forward. Knee gets pressed to the floor. All right, couple more seconds. Switch sides. All right, foot in the hand. Knee gets pressed to the floor. Hips are pressed forward so you really feel that stretch in the quad and the hip flexor. You're almost there, and we are done. Thank you so much for joining us. Go have yourself a healthy protein snack, whether that be chicken or fish, or Phil loves sardines, go have yourself some sardines. If you're plant-based like we primarily are, have a protein shake or anything that is healthy, that is good and high in protein. All right, tiny efforts equals total health. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.